Some of you are not like
It's live. Awesome. Good evening, everyone. My name is Javante Lipsy. I'm a current first year in the program, and I want to start by saying welcome to the annual 2017 SPAD Open House. We are very pleased to have you in attendance today. We want to thank those who've been able to view via live stream. In front of you today, we have a very special group of panelists, all of which are either alumni, current faculty, or current students of the program. You can take a look at your agendas for today or view the surrounding screens. We will start out with the panelist discussion, where each panelist will go through a specific program component. We will then follow with after that, we're going to go ahead and follow with the question and answer discussion, and then we will have the introductions from our alumni and current students that we have in attendance tonight. And then after that, we'll have a conclusion and a reception. I want to turn the attention over to Professor Osborne, a full-time professor and the program coordinator, and she will be discussing admissions and the funding process. If everyone could please give a round of applause to Professor Osborne.
Hi, welcome everyone. It is so exciting to see you, and I'm guessing that a few more people will be dribbling in, because how many people have problems with parking? Welcome to Carolina. Okay.
Only us.
So, yeah, apparently only us. No. So, I'd like to talk a little bit about the admissions process and then funding for the program. The admissions process starts with the graduate school website, so you have to go to UNC's The Graduate School website and start your application. There are additional requirements from our department, and you just upload those documents to your application on the grad school website. The deadline for applications this year is 1 month earlier than it has been ever since I've been here. And so December 12th, you need to have your application completed with all of your letters of recommendation and your GRE scores reported. So if you haven't taken the GRE yet, you really need to get that done by October in order to get your scores in on time. Applications are closed in December. Our entire graduate faculty reviews all of the applications. We will make a decision probably the week of January 10th, which 16 to 18-ish students get invited for interviews. And interview weekend will be February 9th and 10th. And then from there, the faculty will meet after that, and within a week or so, offers to join the program for fall of 2018 will be extended. Funding. If you are offered admission, one of the things that's unique about our program is the way we have always historically been able to fully fund our graduate students. In the first year, you receive a stipend of roughly $12,500 for teaching in the LFIP program. You receive, if you're in state, you receive full tuition remission. If you're out of state, we have also always historically been able to give full tuition remission, but we can never promise that we will always give full tuition remission, although we work really hard to get everyone qualified to receive that, and it's always happened in the past, so you can feel pretty comfortable that that'll happen for you all as well, even though being a lawyer, I can't promise it. Okay, you also get health insurance that is paid. You can stay on your parents if you're under 26, or we'll see what happens, since they voted on a new health care plan today, for any of you who are paying attention to those things. The only thing, in the second year, you get paid stipend, again, roughly $12,500 for your full-time internship. So really, the only costs that you have would then be your student fees. So that's incredibly unique, and the fact that we have been able to fully fund all of our students for the entirety of this program is much better than any other graduate program in the country is able to offer. So I am happy to answer questions just like the rest of our panelists as well as the rest of our faculty, which we'll introduce in a little bit. But thank you all again for coming.
So fully funding is not just tuition, but also you get enough to live on. Almost enough to live on, just about enough. So that wasn't clear. I've been asked to talk about coursework and the thesis process. And so I'll just go through semester by semester. In your first semester, in the fall of your first year, you take 4 courses: administration of intercollegiate athletics, sport law. I'm not going to get all of the terms completely correct. Finance and economics of sport, and also sport marketing. And then in the spring semester, you take 4 additional courses: legal aspects of sport, sport and facility event management, statistics, and research methods. And in that research methods class, we start to talk about the thesis process. And that is one unique thing about our program, is that we require all of the students to do a thesis. And initially, it's something that seems a little bit daunting, but time and time again, it's something that graduates say was just that one little extra thing that they were able to talk about in their interviews that really set them apart. And most of our students, once they get into the thesis, become really passionate about it. So in the research methods course, we go through previous literature that is out there. You propose the topic that you want to research, and then the faculty and other administrators throughout the country can work with you to really develop new knowledge and be at the forefront of the topic that you choose. And so when you graduate, you really will be the expert on that specific area, and will be an asset to everybody in the field. So, and usually you complete your data collection in the first semester of your second year, and then defend early in your final semester, so then you can start to focus on the job process.
We will next have Rob Stewart. He is the Assistant Director of Event Management. He will be speaking on game operations.
Hey everyone. My name is Robert Stewart. I work in the athletic department in athletic event management, also an alum class of 2014. And I've been asked to talk a little bit about the way you're integrated with the athletic department during your time in the graduate program. I think it's probably specifically during your first year. I know Sal's going to touch on internships in a few minutes. But I think that's one of the things that really sets this graduate program apart, is that pretty much the second you arrive, you're considered a member of the athletic department staff. I mean, that's how we view you. You're working for us part-time throughout your entire first year, doing a number of different things, from serving as like a ticket scanner or greeter at various soccer, lacrosse, baseball games like that, serving as a gate supervisor and usher supervisor during football games. We have you help us out our men's women's golf tournament each year doing various roles there, and then also assisting at men's basketball, doing some ushering and some check-in process there. But yeah, I think that's really unique. The athletic department actually plays an active role in the interview process, because, as I said, you're considered a member of the athletic department when you arrive. So much so that we even now have our first year students go through the athletic department onboarding process before they start their school. Yeah, so it's I think it's really neat. I think it really sets the program apart from other ones.
We will next have Katie Berger. She is a current second year in the program. She'll be speaking on the LFIT experience. Fun fact, she won the TA award last year. So everyone please give a round of applause.
For the record, Molly Harry, also second year. She also won it. So props to her too. So the Lifetime Fitness Program, for a bit of background for those of you who are not Carolina students, it's a required undergraduate class for graduation. So anybody in the university has to take this course. And so that's the important aspect for the student. The important aspect for the SPAD is that you get to teach these classes, and that by teaching those classes, that is how you are awarded your monthly stipend. So it's not only crucial to the student to graduate, but also to you for maintaining your status in the program. So you teach 3 classes a semester. That could be anything from beginning swimming to racket sports to I taught aerobics and yoga and Pilates. So there's a million different classes that you can teach. And the number of students will range anywhere from 10 to 30, depending on what class you have. So you're managing between 100 and 140 people over the course of the year, which in terms of resume building is an awesome thing to say. I've managed 100 people. Additionally, kind of the importance of the role, additionally for the student, is this may be, in a lot of cases, the student's first experience, first semester on campus. And so you're helping them transition into college, something that you guys have experienced, so kind of guiding them through that. You're also helping maybe them achieve their health and wellness goals, or inspiring them to have health and wellness goals, depending on who you're talking to. And additionally, for the EXSS department, that may be a student's only contact with with our department. And so we want to have a great first impression and have everyone come away with positive attitude towards our group. And again, just kind of on the personal benefit side, not only do you gain a lot of public speaking and leadership skills, whether you have them or not, you'll get them by the end of the year, just because you're asked to lead, again, between 100 and 140 students for 10 months out of the year. It's also some awesome workout time, 6 hours carved into your week automatically. So it's a great way to kind of knock a few birds out with one stone. And yeah, so again, I'm happy to answer any questions on Outfit. Everybody has stories who are alumni or current students. So feel free to ask us at the end of the panel. Thank you.
We'll now have Simon. He is a current second year in the program. He is our capital projects intern, and he will be discussing the second year internship.
Hi everyone, my name is Simon Carcagno. I'm in my second year. Unlike Katie, I did not win the TA or one of the things that's really attractive about this program is the integration that Rob spoke about with the athletic department. I actually worked in college athletics for 7 years before I came to the program, and I was a coach, which gives you a very interesting perspective on an athletic department. But I didn't have a lot of exposure to the other areas, and so the opportunity to come in here and work in a variety of different areas and experience them was something that was really great. There's a number of internships that are offered on a regular basis, and then there's also a few that are a little bit more custom. So mine, the capital project one, is a new one, so we're hoping to make that one something that will exist for people in the future. But otherwise, there's administration, which is doing a lot of research projects for the senior staff and a lot of exposure to a lot of higher ups in the department. Business office, where you really get a sense of the capital flows within the department, so it gives you a really good understanding of what makes the department tick at a real fundamental level. Tar Heel Sports Properties, where you're bringing in, you're working on sponsorship and revenue creation. Marketing intern, which we don't have this year, but that's one that usually exists, where you're working on various marketing projects. And student athlete development, another one that we don't have this year, but that's working with the Leadership Academy and our student athletes quite closely. Rams Club, so working in development and fundraising. Usually we have 2 interns in that particular one. That's a popular one. Events, also very popular one and really exciting because you get out there and can really put your spin on a couple of things. Beyond that, there's the opportunity. One of my classmates is doing an academic support one, so she's tutoring student athletes and has gone down. So if you have a particular interest, there is the opportunity to create something a little bit more custom, but there are great opportunities to get out there and really get some really good hands-on work experience. And I think the internship is one of the reasons that, pretty much everybody coming out of the program is able to get a job pretty quickly, which, for many of us, that's the That's the goal. So anyway, thank you very much. Happy to answer any questions about my internship or any of the other internships. You can ask me about spreading ashes on Fetzer Field, purchasing portable toilets, and then also video boards for indoor practice facilities. So happy to talk about that. Anyway, thank you.
We will next have Nicole Hudson. She is a alumna of the program, also the assistant track and field coach for the women's team for sprints, hurdles, and jumps. She'll be speaking on the alumni and mentorship program.
I am Nicole Hudson, and I am a two-time alum of this university. So, and as some folks who know my story, this is my third iteration at Carolina. I came first as an undergraduate and was a member of the track and field team. Came back a non-traditional route, very non-traditional, and at 30 years old, I was teaching at Chapel Hill High School and met some folks associated with the program, was kind of figuring out what do I want to do and getting a little antsy in the classroom. And a person who was working in athletics, who actually had been my academic advisor, said, hey, you ever think about going back and getting your master's in sport admin? And so at 30 years old, I quit a full-time job and said, all right, it looks like I'm going to be wearing that yellow Show Pros jacket and working at events and doing all these things and hustling wherever I can, but became a full-time grad student in the master's program. Best decision I ever made. And so what I would tell you is if you're out doing the non-traditional route and saying, wait a minute, I've got a job, this thing is working for me, I'm paying my bills, I've got my own place, why take that chance? And I will tell you, as an alum of this program, you take that chance because there's room to grow and you're gonna find something in you that you didn't know was there. Being the old lady in the class for a while, I told people one time, when you come back to grad school and got the little cohort, I'm like, they're like a survivor island. They're not kicking me off. So I know I'm running. So that's kind of when you go with it. So coming at it from that perspective and how to work within that was a great opportunity and you bring something to the class and the class brings something to you. So having that work experience. The beautiful part about it is the people that you connect with and how when they leave, they go all over the country. And you will find out, hey, I'm in town. What are you doing? Hey, I've got this. Let's go here. Let's go there. And it's really amazing thing. And in this business, as in many, it's not necessarily what you know. You're going to learn a lot, but it's who you know and how you get there. And so making these connections and how you make the quality of the connection you make. Anybody can be that person who wants to go out and drink it every night and try to get something. Are you going to make a quality networking relationship so that when you're done with that, they see you and see what you're about. Because guys, at the end of the day, college athletics is a grind. I'm here now as a college coach, and truth be told, I was making more teaching public school. But I have a passion for this. And the passion to be back here, the passion to give to students and to student athletes. I do teach a class. I have seen two of my students in here, one of my former, one of my current. So I do help Dr. Celia with her principals and coaching class. So having that drive and that passion to give back and to give into student athletics. What you'll find out is as you go into this program, you have to decide, is your passion for athletics or is your passion for student athletes? And I can tell you that will drive which one of these internships you choose to go to. That will drive your thesis, and knowing and understanding that passion early, you won't flounder. And you really get everything there is. Because I can tell you that when I graduated, I did end up going back to the classroom, but the stuff that I learned here, the quality of information, I was able to start a high school program and make it to the state championship level. It's so much. And like I said, meeting these people, knowing these people, knowing the quality of people that you will see in front of the classroom, but more importantly, the quality of people you will know sitting beside you in the class. And yes, it does matter that you're standing for 4 hours straight in Keenan Stadium because you bond during that time, trying to look menacing when you smell the alcohol and you try to tell somebody, look, hey, sit down. You know, and you're like, okay, all I got is this yellow jacket and some sunglasses in my attitude. I look like I'm important right now and they're going to listen to me. So all those things that come with what you learn in this program is truly, truly amazing. And definitely reach out as alums. Like I said, I'm proud class of 2003, and when I talked to 2013 and 2017, just go get it. And even though I talked to 1996, and let's just go get it. So it's truly an honor to be a part of this program, and I definitely encourage you all to apply and come get it.
So that is the end of our panel discussion. We will have, at this time for question and answers. One of Professor Barbara's favorite quotes, quoted from Larry Fedora: "There's no such thing as a dumb question, just dumb people who do not ask questions." So we encourage you to make sure that you ask questions. If you're unsure about anything, please, for the sake of everyone else who may be thinking the same thing, ask questions. For people on live stream, please feel free to enter your question in on the live chat, and we will have the panelists answer the question for you. So at this time, please raise your hand, state your name and the subject in which you would like to speak. Just right here.
My name is Mitchell Harrelson. I have a question for Professor Osborne. I heard you talking a little bit about the admissions process. I'm a junior here at UNC, so I go here currently. I'm a student who once I've made up my decision that I want to go to grad school immediately upon graduation. The students you typically admit, are they students like me who are fresh off of graduation, or do you like to see work experience? Or
Okay, so we're very often asked, sort of like, what's the typical graduate student? And it's nearly an impossible question for me to answer because we generally admit a cohort of 9 or 10 people each year, and we try to get as diverse a group as possible out of that 9. So some will be coming directly out of undergrad, some will be coming with years and years of experience. It was years for Simon and then years for Nikki. Some are athletes, some are not athletes. Geographic diversity, it's all over the place. But what we really, I guess, what all of our students share is a passion for college athletics and a commitment to that career. And so the things that you're doing now as you prepare to apply for graduate school that can show that passion and commitment are things that will be valued when we look at applications. I want to introduce our other faculty that are here too, so you're not really limited to just asking us things, and you guys feel free to chime in if you don't think we've answered the question very well. So Nels Pop, Dr. Nels Pop, Dr. Bob Malikoff, Dr. Jonathan Jensen, and Dr. Brad Bates are all here. So,
and just because I don't know that I did a good enough job selling the coursework, if you look at the experience and the bios of the people on our faculty, it is really incredible. All of us have a passion for the industry and have worked directly with athletes and those in administration. We have 2 former athletic directors and industry leaders, so it's pretty amazing. Even getting a chance to talk to some of the faculty members, let alone have a whole class with them. So it's pretty special, especially me, I'm gonna say.
Other questions?
I'm Sadia Timpton. I'm a senior at Davidson College, and this is kind of a broad question for all of you. What's one skill that you'd say that students in the program really need to possess to find the most success during their time here? Everyone's hands.
Wow. There are a lot. I don't know if there's just one. Time management is something that if you don't have, you acquire pretty quickly. Otherwise, you don't survive. Because this program is loaded, but it's also one of the reasons that you're so well prepared to get a job when you leave. Former students, do you guys want to answer?
I don't know that it's necessarily a skill, but something that I know I feel like is really important is that coming in that you have a perspective, whether that's from your experiences as a student athlete or your experiences working or whatever it is. I feel like having that perspective helps everything about class in particular, because you're coming at things from different areas. Simon's coming at it from a coaching perspective. I'm coming at it from having worked in a conference office, those different things. And I think that give and take and having somewhere, just a perspective that you're coming from and understanding what that is for you, I think that has been, at least in my opinion, valuable as a participant in class.
I'd say the willingness and ability to just jump in, because you're going to be thrown into a lot of situations that you don't know what's really going on and might not be super comfortable. But the ability to just jump in and get as much from that experience as possible, and be as open as possible to new things. I mean, I never thought I'd be doing an internship in facility planning, but it's been really an amazing experience so far. So just having that willingness and that openness, I think is important, because it's such a networking industry. So just being able to go out there and figure out how to make yourself relevant.
I think work ethic and a sense of perseverance. Because at the end of the day, this is just me talking real. Going to grad school, it's like being online for 2 years. It's academic hazing to a point, because you really are trying to get into I'm real. But there's a point where, okay, I want a master's degree. Now, there are many different professional degrees and graduate programs here, no matter what it is. Ours has a literal physical activity component, whether the teaching side, whether working events and things like that, but you still are taking all these classes. You're going to take your comps, you're going to write a thesis. So what some programs have either one or the other, we have both. So the mental perseverance that you're going to have to say, I am going to complete this program. I am going to do my thesis. That going through that first year and going through your comps, that's part of it. You're still in school. I mean, all these things are great, but you're still in school. So having an understanding of this is what I am getting into, this is what I'm signing up for, and saying I can do hard things, and just going forward and going through that. And every day you're going to be working a soccer game until 10 o'clock at night, but Barbara expects her law degree to be done. And you can't, and the thing is, with a 9-person cohort, you cannot hide. So that's the part that, as you're getting into this, there is no hiding place. Your bad day, you will be exposed to the other 8 people. And sometimes everybody has a good day and everybody has a bad day, but you don't want to string together too many bad days. And so that means you get it done. That means you get up early. That means you stay late. That means you knock out your LFIT and you're going here. And when everybody else is going out, you're staying in. If that's what you have to do, then that's what you need to do. And you'll learn that. And that's the part that transfers to your first job, because you're going to be coming in at the bottom of the totem pole, and you're going to have to grind when everybody else is going home. And that's how you should go.
And just building on that, I think understanding why you're doing all of it and having that inner drive and a passion for college sport fundamental to everything you do. If you're not sure that college sport is the industry for you, this is not the grad program for you. But if you know that you want to work in intercollegiate athletics and you're willing to work hard, this is the best program in the country. So having that why will help on those late nights and early mornings.
I would just say I think it's also incredibly important to have the ability to work well in a team setting. The fact that the cohort is so small, either 9 or 10 students. I mean, your cohort, they become more than friends. They're like your family. It's like you're together. That first year, you're together all the time. It's unbelievable. So being able to get along really well with them, they're the ones that are going to be there for you to, for me, making sure I didn't miss an assignment or teaching me, tutoring us in stats or whatever. They're going to help each other out.
Sharing lesson plans for outfit. The options, right?
Yeah, and then that carries over into when you start your internship. You're working within a unit, whichever one you're doing. So being able to work in those team settings is incredibly important.
Any other thoughts from faculty in the back?
I have a question. I'm wondering if this could be to some of the folks who graduated or to our faculty up here, if you could talk about maybe one or two thesis projects that really led to some special thing for a student, or again, those of you who did it, if you want to talk about your experience. I just like to learn, hear a little bit about the thesis process in a more personal way. I'll open it up to whoever.
I can talk about mine. I did. Awesome. No, I did the history and significance of the women's CIAA tournament. So if you know anything really know about basketball tournaments, then you know that the CIAA tournament is the oldest basketball tournament in the country, and it actually makes more money than the ACC tournament does. That's why it bounces around North Carolina. Well, the year I did my thesis, me didn't know that having attended a predominantly white institution, I had opportunities to go to an HBCU, and I didn't. My mother is a graduate of St. Augustine's College, which was an HBCU. So hearing all of that, and even though I was a math major here, I did a qualitative type of thesis project, and actually one of my classmates, John Bruner, went with me, and we just shot video footage of the CIAA tournament. And if you've never been, if you are a North Carolinian, you should attend the CIAA at least once in your life, because my mind blown. And when you're sitting there watching all these people, and you watch the governor go by with a drink in his hand, like, hey, what's up? What kind of tournament is this? And everybody, it was just amazing, because it was this big week-long celebration. But what happened for me, what was a blessing, is I got to interview Dr. Leroy Walker, who, if you know once again anything about track and field or who he was to North Carolina, I still have the video that I shot of him. Coach George Williams, who coached 2 Olympic teams, who was the head coach at St. Augustine College. But going through that was amazing. And then I had an opportunity, about 3 years after I graduated, I was working in Atlanta and got contacted, and they asked me to be the keynote speaker at the CIAA tournament, because they're like, we remember you being there, we read your thesis, we want you to come back and speak on this. And so, and from that, I got an opportunity to go and speak at a lot of different places, simply because of, I took a shot and said, hey, because I had a passion. My mother had played basketball at St. Augustine's College. And so for me to say, okay, well, this is something I can dedicate to her, as not only as a former female athlete, but female athletes at HBCUs, and then the oldest basketball tournament, and you get the history about who Coach McClendon was and the relationship he had with Coach Smith, and all the stuff about where the 4 pointers really come from, and what all those things that we take as, especially being from Carolina, and we take a basketball history, not knowing that just down the road North Carolina Central was someone who went and studied with Professor Mason and all that. So really understanding basketball and how it played in my life, how it played in your life in North Carolina, and then at Chapel Hill, what it meant and how those were connected. So I really, that was amazing. It opened so many paths for me.
And another story. I was just going through several in my mind, and I don't think that I can pick just one, but several in the last couple of years have finished their data collection, and then we presented it in one form or another, and then they've been contacted by news outlets, and so their data fresh from collection is put forward into different national newspapers or journals, and then I think one that stands out, the NCAA got a hold of some of the data and they tweeted it, and that was retweeted hundreds of times, and it was just amazing for everybody in the cohort to say, we were there when we thought of this idea, and now it's getting retweeted hundreds of times. And often during the interview process, students will say they wanted a copy of my thesis, and so knowing that your employer is probably going to ask it for it after you talk about it and are able to talk about it passionately. And so that kind of adds an element of importance as you go through the process to know, wow, this is how I'm going to be known in many ways for years to come.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. There's 2 ways to look at thesis. One, some of you are probably saying, oh, thesis, didn't know that. And you can look at it like, oh, this is something I gotta get done. Or you can look at it as something that, I'm gonna do something great that I can show them for it in the semi. You know, we've had both.
Do we have any more questions?
Hey, I'm John Rouse. I'm a senior at ECU over in Greenville. My question is for Professor Osborne, because you have a G.
Yeah, that's fine.
As far as the admissions process goes, is there anything that outweighs more than another throughout on the application, like grades over GRE or work experience over a personal statement?
Okay, so grades and scores are numbers, and the graduate school wants you to have ideally at least a 3.0 GPA and score above the 50th percentile on each part of the GRE. Those are recommendations, they're not drop-dead requirements. But for our faculty, when we're reviewing applications, I would say that the most important document in your application process is your personal statement. Because your personal statement is your one chance to sell us on why we need you in this program. And it's your opportunity to tell us about you, about what in your background, what drives you, what your passion is, what skills and experiences have you had that you can bring to this cohort that will enrich the experience for everyone. The worst thing you could possibly do is say how you've always loved sports, you know, from the time that you were little, because that makes you like everybody else, right? And then tell us of how great our program is and all the things you're going to learn from us, because we've now learned nothing about you, and you've told us all stuff that we already know.
Something interesting about that, though, is the faculty all have very different opinions, and we have come to the table sometimes where somebody's number one is another person's not number one, you know, far down the list, and then we hash it out. And I think if you ask different faculty, they have different things that they look at throughout the process. For me, I look at the resume first and really see how hard have you worked, and is this the industry that you know you want to be in, and how have you shown that to me? I know Dr. Jensen weighs the recommendations really heavily because research has demonstrated that recommendations are a great predictor of success in grad school. How recommenders rank the people they recommend. So, and even two of us can read the same thing and interpret it very differently. But that's why it's neat to have a diverse faculty, and we also include our students first and second years in the process, and they're a big part of it. So getting to know the students and faculty, so we can know as much about you as we can and make an informed decision is helpful.
Do we have any other questions at this time?
I have a question here. What kinds of careers do people graduate?
Okay, so 2 went to work at the USOC, one with the Paralympics, one in a diversity and inclusion program. I was gonna say they're all over the place. We have 2 that are in development. Events, go ahead, just you guys all.
She's in the business office at Colorado.
Right.
Drew's in marketing at Boston
College.
Emily works in events at George Washington University.
And
Aaron is a track coach at Toledo.
right.
Sounds sponsorship.
That's
All
right.
the except for the 2 USOC jobs, they've all been Division I.
My second part to the question is, if most of them end up in the internship that they select where you want.
Okay, so we do promise that everyone is placed in an internship, but we don't promise that you're going to get the internship that you want. The internship placement process is really kind of like med school matching process, where you interview at 4 or 5 of the different ones. The supervisor, the internship supervisor there will rank you just like they would if they were employing someone. Our grad students come back and they rank, I want this one first, this one second, this one third. And then I meet with Larry Gallo, who's the Senior Associate Athletic Director, and we fit them together. So 1-1s are easy, right? And then 1-2s, work out. We don't have very many that have been not 1-2s, but occasionally there'll be a 2-2 or a 2-3. Or sometimes if everybody in the cohort ranks the same thing first, then only one person is going to get that, right? And the thing about all of the internships is that you can learn something and will learn something, and it'll be an incredibly valuable experience. The one thing that a lot of students, I think of when they apply to internships is that they think that that's what they're going to be sort of pigeonholed or stuck in for a job. But more than half of our students every single year go into jobs that weren't directly related to what their internship was. And even some of them that do start in whatever their internship was have moved on, to different areas of athletics. And we now have, people that started in just about every internship that are college conference commissioners and senior administrators at major institutions. And so, every path can potentially get you where you want to go. But we do promise that it will be a valuable learning experience.
And if I can jump on that a little bit. So I don't have any background whatsoever in business. And I took the approach with internships that if I have kind of a free year to learn anything, I might as well spend it in something that I don't know about, like business. And so I'm working in the athletics business office, and it's been an awesome experience to be able to learn everything from the daily nuts and bolts to kind of the bigger picture budgeting stuff. So just because you think going in, yeah, I want to do development, or yeah, I want to do this or that, that doesn't mean that you can't kind of flesh out, at least in my opinion, how I looked at it, to kind of build up some of my weaknesses a little bit, because that's only going to help me in whatever job it is later down the line that I'm looking for. So kind of a similar vein to that.
Do you have any additional questions? So at this time, we're going to have introductions from our current students, alumni, and current faculty. We'll start with the first year students. If you could please come to the front for me. We'll just start.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Sessoms. I'm from right outside Chapel Hill, graduated here in 2013, and I'm back in grad school as a first-year student.
My name is Fletcher Jones. I graduated from University of Virginia in 2013. We're the two old folks, I guess. And then I spent a few years out in the field. I worked in mid-major conference in Charlotte, and then a small NAIA school down in Daytona Beach before I came here. But great decision.
My name is Javante Lipsy, originally from Kalamazoo, Michigan. I ran track and field here undergrad. I graduated in 2016, then spent a year interning in the ticket office at UNC Charlotte, and then immediately came here.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Jacob Krull. I'm from Connecticut. I went to UConn as an undergrad. There I worked in the marketing department. I also was fortunate enough to work at Yale as an intern one summer. I came here just because I had a passion for college sports. One of my teachers at UConn did his undergrad here and his master's here, and he said this is the best place to do it if you want to work in college sports.
Oh, gosh.
Hi, I'm Jake DeVries. I'm from Irvine, California originally. I went to Boston University, majored in journalism, minored in business, and played for the tennis team. While I was there, I just, in addition to playing tennis, did any sort of work I could in the athletic department. I interned in the business office one summer and worked in athletic communications, development office. I also interned the summer before my senior year with a collegiate summer baseball team. Kind of from the time I was in college, knew I wanted to work in college athletics, just had a passion for making this a better place in any way I could. And one of my administrators is an alum of the program, talked me into applying and got in, and it was an easy decision to come here. So.
I'm Liv Dwyer. I'm originally from New Jersey, outside of Philadelphia, and I spent the last 4 years at Campbell University. It's like an hour from here. I don't know if anyone knows it. I swam there all 4 years, graduated in May. While I was there, I interned in our student success office. So I working on the academic side of athletics. And I also had an advisor and administrator that came through the program here. And she, talked up the program, said it's the best of the best, applied, and here we are.
Go Camels.
Yeah, fighting camels. So we're cool. We are cool.
My name is Cameron Johnson. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I graduated from the University of Pittsburgh in April. I played basketball there for 3 years. I graduated in those 3 years. I redshirted my first year, so I have 2 years of eligibility left. And I transferred down here to play basketball. And this program came highly recommended to me, and it stuck out the most to me out of all the universities I visited upon my transfer. And so far, I really like it, and it's a great place.
Hi, I'm Emily Wayland. I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. I just graduated from here in May, and when I came to college, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was also a math major, so, but I started working in the athletics department here. I worked in recruiting for football, and then I got involved with operations with Rob. He's great. And then I worked for the Rams Club and did a lot of data analysis for them. So that's kind of where I discovered I really wanted to go into development. But I just fell in love with working in athletics department. I love interacting with people that know, like, they are really passionate about athletics. So that's kind of why I wanted to stay at a college level. But I applied here. I talked to a lot of people that had gone through this program, and they all recommended it highly. So applied here, came here, and I don't regret it. I love it.
At this time, if we have any second years in attendance, if you could please come to the front. We have one. We have
Allie. Oh, yeah.
Allie?
Where'd you go?
It's okay.
Hi guys, Clay Pfeiffer. Came from Florida State, where I managed the tennis team and then did my MBA. I now am in the administration internship. Can't recommend enough. It was a dream come true when I got in, and it just hasn't disappointed at all. So, come join us.
Now time for our faculty introductions. If you could please come to the front. Any professors, please.
Start on this end.
Sure.
Well, my name is Nels Pop. This is my 5th year at UNC. Before here, I was at Illinois State University. I did my PhD at the University of Louisville. I played Division III basketball, and then I worked in college athletics in the media relations role for about 8 years. So I had some good experience that way, but I really enjoy teaching. I teach our facility and event management at the graduate level, and I teach sales at the undergraduate level.
Everybody, I'm Jonathan Jensen. I went to Notre Dame, UMass, and Ohio State, so I'm a big college athletics fan. And but what really gets my juices flowing is data analytics, especially applied to marketing issues. And so I teach the sports marketing class both at undergrad and grad, and do a lot of data analytics. So if you're interested in quantitative stuff and might have an interest in that, come talk to me, look me up. Happy to discuss the program with you.
Hi everyone, I'm Bob Malakoff. I was a lacrosse and soccer coach at Princeton, and then was an associate athletic director at Harvard. I also hold a record at Harvard. I have the lowest GRE score ever to be admitted to the Harvard Graduate School of Education. So if your scores aren't great, there is hope. Went on to be an athletic director at 2 Division III schools, Connecticut College and the College of Worcester. Taught at Guilford College for 9 years, and then I've been here. This is my fourth year. I've taught the economics finance graduate class for 3 years.
And I'm the rookie. I've been here a few months. My name is Brad Bates. I was a student athlete at the University of Michigan, stayed on, earned a master's degree there, worked at the University of Colorado, Vanderbilt University, Miami University, and most recently Boston College. Literally been here about 3 months and really have enjoyed it. For those of you considering the program, you're not going to find a better blend of the theoretical and the practical. And you're surrounded by incredible people who are very genuinely, sincerely engaged in your development and landing in positions that you're passionate about. It's a terrific program.
Do we have any alumni in the house tonight? Okay. Just alumni. Undergrad. Okay, so this is the conclusion of our formal portion of the program. Carolina, as you've seen, is extremely great at what we do. We are the first, and we continue to be the best sport administration graduate program that focuses solely in collegiate athletics, and that's due to our faculty, alumni, and current students as well. I want to thank the branding committee, the alumni committee, and the event committee for making this event possible. And to everyone in attendance, thank you for being here, or for those who've tuned in via live stream. We do have refreshments in the back, so feel free. And at this time, we're going to have more of like a non-formal portion. So feel free to talk to any of the faculty representatives. Don't be scared to ask questions. And thank you once again.